So how do I make money if I'm just starting out? Fantastic. So here's a couple observations here. Give away the secrets, sell the implementation. All right? If you want to build an enterprise that is valuable, this is how you do it. You can sell info. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to build a brand, give away the secrets, sell the implementation. All right? Because people are like, you can give the whole farm away. People still won't do it. 1% of people will do it. My business model relies on the 1% who do it. You know what I mean? So like I bank on that. But only 1% are going to do it. So most people need help. Most people need encouragement. Most people need accountability. Most people need somebody who's going to act as their virtual Google because they don't want to type it in. It's true, right? And so one of the side notes that I have here is that if you're not afraid of what you're giving away, that you're giving away too much, you're not giving away enough. And so every time I've written a book or I've made like a presentation that ends up going live, I always think to myself like, oh God, I'm sharing everything. What will they do? They won't need me anymore because I give them this information. They'll just keep living their lives and I will become obscure and nothing and I will die, right? That is what it feels like. I mean, you catastrophize. But that's real, right? It's the opposite though, right? And there's so many things I feel like that I've at least realized for me is a lot of things are the opposite of what you expect. It's like you only gain your life by giving it, right? Like you only get trust from others by trusting first. You only get value back by giving value first. And so if you're afraid of giving away all the secrets that you have, I promise you, if you make content that does not contain the secrets, 99% of people who are the people who are never going to pay you anyways, 99% of people will just think you suck because you give nothing. So you just make fluff because you're so afraid of giving good stuff away. The thing that most people consume is they consume one video and they make a judgment and say, I will never consume a video from this person again. What a waste of time. And so like my big fear with every piece of content is I would rather make fewer pieces of content because I'm so afraid of somebody taking 20 minutes to consume something after watching a bunch of my stuff, watching that one and not actively deciding to stop watching, but just don't get enough for the time that they're like, I'll just watch something else. They don't say like, oh, Alex, they just pivot a little bit and slowly you fade away. And so I would rather have quality over quantity, but quantity beats just quality, right? But I would personally, this is me, I would personally prefer to have better stuff and give away as many secrets as I possibly can to get people to start taking steps towards you. Because what also happens is if someone goes and uses stuff from the YouTube channel and grows from $1 million a year to $3 million a year or $5 million a year, they don't have questions on whether or not we can provide value because we already have, right? And then it makes the sales process dramatically easier because you say, what brought you here today? And they're like, well, you made me $2 million a year. I love you. And you're like, awesome. Want to get to 10? And they're like, sure. Like, how do I know it's going to work? Because it already has, right? And you can take that as a totally different frame for the sale. Okay? And so make your free materials better than everyone else's paid materials. I heard this from Tony Robbins, and I think it's really true. But I think the real is that most of your stuff is not better than their paid stuff. And so that's why it doesn't work. And so talk about what you really know, which is your specialty, which is your individual thing that you have experienced that no one can challenge. Your truth, all right? And so finally, you want to play games where if you wait, you win. Because goodwill compounds faster than money. Because the longer you can delay the ask, the bigger the ask can be. The longer the runway, the bigger the plane that can take off of it. And so I promise you, and this is, again, gigantic Himalayan grain of salt, with the limited experience that I have, doing organic, because I've only done direct to jugular, paid ads, cold calling, affiliate stuff, straight pitching. I've only done that. But I can say that this brand is very special to me because I enjoy what we're building and I'm in no rush to do it. And you have time. And so the longer you can wait and keep walking with people, the longer the compounding works in your favor. Like, it's no coincidence that the biggest people in the business space don't need anything from their audiences, right? because I think that compounding process gets interrupted when you do a hard pitch. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, that's my opinion. And so the idea is, how can we sell without selling, right? And I think in that way, the compounding will happen faster than the revenue would have otherwise increased if you started trying to make the money fast. And so the longer you can delay that, the better it's gonna be, and then you can understand why all these guys play the infinite game of never even wanting to do that right hook, because it's like, but next year I'm gonna have 5 times the audience. And then a year later, they're like, but next year I'm gonna have 5 times the audience, right? Because as soon as you shoot your shot, you dramatically decrease the goodwill. And so I think that I've at least adapted, and this is maybe just a different way of saying it. I know Gary's got jab, 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 right hook. Just a personal observation that I've had is that you can go give, 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 get. You don't even have to ask. People just start handing things to you. Because if you deposit enough goodwill in there, it just starts coming back. And I know that sounds crazy, but like the amount of people that DM me are like, hey man, can I give you 10 grand for 10 minutes? I'm like, no, I don't do that. Like, how about 20 grand? Like, no, I don't do that. But the amount of times people inbound and they're like, hey, can I have you on my podcast? Can I have you on my stage? All these things are happening because you're not asking for anything. And it makes people feel uncomfortable. It makes people feel really uncomfortable. They're like, how can I buy something from you? And you're like, you can't. They're like, ah. And I'm like, use the get to 3 million, then we can partner, right? But that's it. You know what I mean? There's nothing else. And so I think that if we can make that pivot and have that patience, but like, if we're thinking really big picture, the reason most people aren't successful is they just can't control themselves. Like, that's it. It's impulse control. And so there's 3 things. They did this research study that said that ultra successful people have 3 common traits. Number 1 is they have a superiority complex. They think they're better than everybody. They think they can do bigger things. Second is that they have crippling insecurity of not being enough. I like that one, hits me. And then the third one is impulse control. So it's they know where they want to go. They have a way drive to not be a failure, and they stay focused on it because of impulse control. And so the idea here is, if we can do that, we will be more successful. And the reason that most people don't make money is because they can't wait 12 months. Like, I have this 18-year-old who was my neighbor, and I said, I'm gonna have you sign a contract that says, I wanna be a millionaire. I was like, you gotta wait 5 years. You can't make any money between now and then. Would you do it? He was like, yeah, I would do it. Every single person can do that. I guarantee you, if you delayed your ass for 5 years and you just provided value to people for 5 years, you'd have a bigger audience than you what to do with, and you'd be a millionaire in 5 years. It'd probably happen a lot faster than that. But if you committed to doing it for 5 years, you would. But guess what? No one's gonna do it. And that's why most people aren't successful. And so, like, we come to these events and you have the models and all the stuff, right? But people still eat cookies when they're trying to lose weight. And so it's a concept of local versus global, which is there's a local benefit to eating cookies. You feel better, whatever. The global benefit goes down, though, because you don't get the six-pack you want, if that's the goal and you're counting macros. You get the idea, right? And so most people cannot sacrifice local benefit for global. When we're trying to achieve the things that you're trying to do, right, the local benefit is just make the ask fast. The global benefit is the longer you can wait, the bigger it can be. And so for me, I'm like, why not wait as long as humanly possible?